Thanks. Two things for you here, Coach. You mentioned spring football. No specifics yet, of course. But in general, what do you think is the viability of playing a shortened season in the spring and then coming back and playing something of a normal season in the fall? And what are your biggest concerns about that?
Well, I think, there's two things. We were going to have, if it was going to be a fall season, it was going to be shortened anyway, right? Either way, it's a shortened season, and then what does that look like? Obviously the time that you are involved in spring football, which is usually, March, April, right? Something like that, and you say, well, you've got 15 days, but most guys spread that out over the course of a month, maybe a month or so. So, there's that fact that you're not going to have spring football. So, does a season replace that with basically 2 months that start earlier? That becomes more viable when you look at it that way. Because realistically, if a guy's playing in a game on a Saturday, you're going to play 60, 70 snaps. Most guys don't play 75 snaps, right, on Saturday. So, there's pluses and minuses to it. I think, you start looking at different things. That's why I said the eligibility issue is going to be at the forefront. I think that conversation needs to be had and needs to be solved because, just being honest with you, players are going to make decisions. And about this year, with the concern is just being honest with, what if there's a spike and I only get to play 2 games? What does that look like? Even right now. So, there's a lot of questions to be answered. And, for me to say, hey, look, let's go do this right now. I'm just not ready to do that yet, just based on, what we've seen in the last 4 weeks.
What do you say to players or their parents who look around, they see that the Big 12 is moving forward, the ACC, the SEC, and they question the Pac-12 decision, or maybe they ask you, like, why can't we play?
Well, I think that communication has been going on. I know that communication, our communication with our particular team and our parents has been going on, and that concern has been there from both sides. Does that make sense? And so, everything that we've done has been, as I said, with player safety in front of it. And let me say this, Mike. Today people are saying they're going to play. Just like we came out with a schedule and a week later we were done. Let's wait a couple weeks and see what happens. Okay.
Not being able to go visit recruits or have kids on campus, how does that kind of change your approach?
Well, we've had a lot of virtual visits, and which I know that you've been on top of that with guys that have been, we've got a different theme every day. We've got a lot of guys we've done, I think our staff and Cody Moore, I think we've done as good a job as anybody with our virtual visits. We've got, I think we're right at 20 commitments right now. We've got two really good ones already for 22. So for us, in some ways we've split up what we're doing. Not as much football. We've got as much football as we can in the morning with strength and conditioning, get on the field with our players. But we've also broken it up, and I think it's given us the opportunity to really delve into recruiting over the last 2 months. And I think you've seen some of the benefits that have come out of it. And again, as I said before, it's going to be staffs that can adapt and adjust. Because it's not the same. And, with virtual visits, and I don't know, to be honest with you, how you're going to have official visits, before the end of the year, or even early in the spring, or unofficial visits based on, guys coming on campus, not being tested. What does that look like? So I think for some guys, the guys who are committed, they feel good about where they are. I think the early signing date is still a great opportunity for a young man in a time that is uncertain. And if they're certain, right, and they want to sign, then I think that gives the family and themselves some relief in this time. And again, Jason, if just because it's early signing date, there's going to be another date, they don't have to sign then if they're not sure. So I think the early signing date this year is probably as important as any year, just because of the uncertainty of things that are going on and the uneasiness that's out there for high school players and JUCO transfers. So, that's coming up because we're already in the middle of August, right? So getting to the end of August, it's going to come up here fast. And so recruiting is just as fast and furious as it's always been. It's just being done in a different manner.